Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Nightwatch N8. I have been a little bit tied up the last week, and probably some of you keep regular tabs, the few, the proud, the night watchers out there have probably noticed kind of I haven't been posting as much, especially on X, and that's kind of actually nice. It's kind of therapeutic now and then to just disconnect from X. I mean, it's probably the most toxic place on the internet, but one of them anyway. But the other one is the boomers on Facebook that I have to deal with on a regular occasion, constantly bickering back and forth about Trump. It gets old. So yeah, it's kind of a nice relief to just kind of like turn it all off, but not so much in that we've had kind of a health crisis in the family recently. We had to take my father in, and showing some face drooping and slurred speech ever since Wednesday. So it's been a little while, a few days. And one reason we don't catch it, or we didn't catch it sooner, was because he comes home late, leaves fairly early in the morning, and I'm a night owl, so I don't really see him in person. But the better half, who's also we're all basically kind of like living the American dream, you know, where you got to take care of your parents after a while when they start having health problems. So the better half kind of noticed a little bit of slurred speech on Thursday, I think it was. Anyway, so that's what's been going on with me. I'll check back in a bit. All right, so just a quick checkup. Yeah, it gets dark too early these days. Spent the whole afternoon in the emergency room with my father, and they definitely noticed the same stroke-like symptoms. It's really mild from the other serious cases of a stroke that I've seen anyway, exhibited in other people, pictures and video, and even people I think I've run into in real life. Not any serious face drooping, but there was a slight bit on his right side, right above his on his lower cheek. And the slurred speech is pretty good indicator. My dad hasn't been in the best health lately. He is a quintessential workaholic. He should have retired long ago, but he just loves to work, and he loves to help out people as much as he can. He likes to try to keep things afloat, and us kids have been telling him for a long time that it's you get past 70, and there's a reason why people retire, is because you can't just keep working yourself into the grave. Most people, they can't function at that age, but there are a few exceptions, right? My dad has been one. Like he says, he's worked at the same place for over 50 years. He's worked 70 years total probably, but he's worked at this one corporation for 56 years, something like that. Like he likes to say, he's never taken off more than a week sick leave that whole time. But yeah, it catches up to you, that workaholism, and he hasn't. He's just constantly pushed himself his whole life, and he never gets enough sleep. I think it kind of runs in the family, and but he gets to sleep late, wakes up early. He's got a long commute to work, and he's done that again for decades. So I've always just kind of seen my dad as the stalwart, right? This guy that's just nothing can. He's a working machine. He's always busy. He's not happy unless he's doing something. And so that's why we've never, as kids, never pushed him into the idea of retiring, because we know he's probably one of these people that once he does retire and has nothing to do, then he won't have anything to live for. So yeah, he's still working, and incredibly enough, after this event, after the slurred speech episode, again, it took me a few days. It took me till the weekend till I actually got to talk to him in person. Once I knew something was going on. And but yeah, I think he said it happened early Thursday in the morning, probably 2 a.m., probably when he was getting home. And another lesson for all you, especially you old guys out there, you stubborn old boomers and whatnot, just tell somebody if you're experiencing something weird, right? Like if all of a sudden you can't make words, it's probably a good time to tell somebody who loves you something might be going on, and then we can take it a little more seriously. But we eventually did take it seriously enough today, and we got him in. So right now it's late at night, 9 o'clock, and he's staying overnight at the hospital. I kind of didn't like to leave him there alone because I don't trust Western medicine at all. But I did tell him, if they try to do anything weird, they try to get you to do anything that sounds a little sketchy, call me, or have them call me as your guardian or whatever, and I'll have a talking to them first before they put you through any shady procedures. But otherwise, so they did the CT test. It came out negative. They didn't find anything wrong. All of his motor skills are there. He went through probably 3 times today. 3 different people. Tests on his arm strength, tracking the eyes, pushing you side to side, trying to test your balance, a tongue test. Yeah, I learned a lot today about signs to look out for. One of the things that I didn't know, I knew you're supposed to get somebody in within that first, ideally, 3 hours, maybe 6 hours, to get the clot busters, these drugs that they give you to break up any clots that you might have in your brain, hopefully reverse some of the symptoms. But of course that wasn't an option. But the other thing I didn't realize that another doctor told me that within a 30-hour period is another one of those windows that you got to look out for, that you might have a relapse of what just occurred, what happened, maybe even worse, right? So anybody out there who's there's the FAST, these different acronyms to gauge whether or not somebody's having a stroke, and it can be real subtle, right? In his case, I didn't even recognize the face drooping. A couple other people did, I guess more observant than I am. One of the doctors did, my better half did. He smiles, so he doesn't have that extreme crooked smile that you see like the worst case scenario, and that's what you expect. Now sometimes it's a little more subtle, and the slurred speech thing was really weird. He's got diabetes. He's got things can happen when your levels get really high with diabetes, where your body literally, you start to act like you're drunk because your body doesn't process the glucose right and everything. It can actually get dangerous and attack your brain and potentially do some nerve damage. And so that was our first impression. And I think it's just with him, it's a compounding of a lot of different things. I also read while I was sitting there with plenty of time at the emergency room, lack of rest, can increase your risk of stroke. Sleep deprivation is a real thing, people. And a lot of people, I think, this modern age, suffer from it to different degrees, myself included, trust me. The brain fog, the lack of concentration, I have all those symptoms. And it literally increases your risk of pretty much every possible disease by not getting enough sleep. So like they say, recommended at least 7, I'd say 8 hours of sleep a day, and preferably before midnight. And that's, here I am preaching, Something I haven't done for as long as I can remember, my whole entire adult life. Been able to get to bed before midnight. That's why I'm not Nightwatch N8, I guess, right, guys? So if you ever hear me slurring my speech and struggling with my words and sounding like I'm on something, that's probably why. I'm just heavily sleep deprived, and don't follow my example in that regard, at least, right? But yeah, so hopefully, I gave a prayer with my dad. It was really tough to leave him. Like I said, I don't trust those places. They had no place for me to sleep. The other thing was the guy needs sleep. It's partially, due to sleep deprivation, his condition, and yet they keep coming in every hour on the hour to check all his vital signs. Like, isn't that what machines are for? Can't you automate some of this stuff a little better, guys? And then I guess in the later hours, they told him that they'd only bug him once every 2 hours. So it's one of these, protocol things. They got to make sure you're doing okay, and they keep you overnight. And of course, everything is geared towards safety of the patient, but also, maximizing profit. I think I looked it up. The standard operating costs, the typical expense of just going into an emergency room is upwards near of $2,500 just for a visit. That's not including what they do to you, once they check you in. So yeah, $2,500 just to get checked out. Thankfully, my dad has pretty good insurance, so we should just have that minor copay, whatever it is, $150 or so. And but yeah, they sure know how to. Like, one question was brought up by my sister, like, why didn't they just test the MRI first? If that's going to detect everything, instead of just running them through the CT first, which wasn't any faster because they told us that was like the quick scan, and it took them like an hour and a half to finally get the results back, which came up, like I said, not showing anything. MRI is a little more extensive, sees some of the finer details. My speculation is it might be one of these little mini strokes. And this is a whole different topic that, I would really like to get into. Some of you people saw the podcast I did about some of you wonder why I'm so passionate about Trump, the jab father, and what is it now? The $500 billion mRNA AI super medical, Western medical industrial complex rollout with Larry Ellison. You wonder why this stuff really gets on my nerves. Is because it's personal. Let's just keep it at that for now. Yeah, I did that podcast on Julian Assange, and he wasn't given the option when he was in prison, whether he wanted to be a anti-veer, what's another good acronym? I need another good, or not an acronym, another good cute little phrase, because I know anything that I say on my channel gets me in trouble. So in any case, Julian Assange didn't have any choice in the medical treatment that he was given while he was in the jail. And I did this whole podcast on this ischemic, I think it's called, stroke that he had. Thankfully, I guess he's recovered pretty well. The cool thing about how the brain was designed by God, by the way, the most complex system in the known universe, the human brain. Newsflash to Elon Musk, I guess, who thinks it's just something you could liken to a circuit board in a computer, and he can just toy with it and stick wires in it and think he can improve upon God's original design. Yeah, the cool thing is that once you have an injury to the brain, like a stroke, in an isolated area of your brain, the other surrounding areas of the brain eventually take over what's missing, and you can retrain things, right? Like, they go through my dad actually tomorrow is going to have some people look at him, like a speech therapist, and thankfully he didn't have any problem walking, but I think some motor skill type person's going to look at him. Yeah, that's what's the really cool thing, is that even if a part of your brain is destroyed from lifestyle choices and everything else, the neuroelasticity of the brain allows those different surrounding areas of the brain to take over. And you can sometimes have like a full recovery, right? It's really cool. And so praise God. I prayed with my dad when I left. Really heartfelt prayer. It's hard to see him like that. Like I said, he's just been this unstoppable force his whole life. And it's hard to see him kind of cut down like that. And it's really frustrating for him. And it's really scary, Definitely facing some of his own mortality right now. And hopefully my prayer is this will be a wake-up call, and it'll, make him take his lifestyle choices more seriously, and hopefully be a little more willing to lay off, the workaholism and the just give yourself some time to rest. Eat better, we're trying to help on that regard. Yeah, just change some things in your life to nourish what health you have left, because life is short, and the older you get, man, the things that it's harder to heal up from things. And so yeah, it's gonna be a struggle. He had some really another symptom was the fatigue. He had some really, while we were there at the hospital, he showed that he was really tired. He even went to sleep at one point on the hospital bed, which I'm not sure how you can do that in the emergency room, but yeah, it's a sign of how tired he was, and he felt like he just wanted to go to sleep. And I looked that up, and after a stroke, yeah, for up to weeks, up to months, sometimes you can struggle with that, really, really, really feeling tired, because that's your brain, and your body healing itself. It's just received this blunt trauma, and now your body's trying to heal up. So he needs that R&R. He's gonna have to take off work at least this week, and then we're gonna see how much he can recuperate. And we might all, just kind of have to hunker down, tighten the old belt straps, and pitch in to keep everything afloat around here. So far, it's just been my mom that we're taking care of with dementia. Now it's my dad who has some hopefully very temporary neurological cognitive impairment issues. It's not so much cognitive, because he is very there. It's just his ability to form words. It's like, it was like in you go to the dentist and you get your face numb and you try to talk afterwards. It's kind of, I think, what it's like. He also said he might have struggled with trying to access the words, but hopefully it's just more of a motor thing, like the nerves are cut off from that part of the brain that used to, form. It's pretty complex, just to speak. We do it so effortlessly, and then think of not being able to just effortlessly speak. You have to consciously try to pronounce things, and that's just what he's dealing with right now. God bless everybody. Life is short. Get serious about your own mortality before you have, a similar medical episode, if you haven't already, or, could be an emergency that you don't recover from. Could be an accident and killed the next day. Our only hope off of this planet is in a God. You look around at nature, you look at the human brain, like I said, you see all this incredible complexity, unfathomable, infinite, in our finite little brains, to try to make sense of the miraculous design all around us. craftsmanship of the Creator. And once you realize that, if God was that loving, if God is that good to create all these things, and he's that all-powerful, that intelligent, and he's beyond time and space, right? The Alpha and the Omega. He is perfectly capable, just as he created us basically from nothing, right? In the womb. He can recreate us and give us new bodies. That's our only hope. Otherwise, we rot in the grave, and that's it. You live this little blink of an eye out on this planet, and it's over. And that's just to face that kind of a nihilistic view is just, to me, it's just depressing. I mean, what do you live for? Right? Temporary hedonistic pleasure? I mean, what are we living for? What's the point? You gotta believe in God. That's what I'm saying. God bless everybody. This is Nightwatch N8. Thanks for listening to my little rant. It was intended to just be a quick little update, but I guess that's what you guys are here for, right? My therapy, my therapist, best kind of therapist that don't talk back. No, please leave some comments in the section, in the comment section, if you will. And yeah, I'm tired myself. It's just been a long, taxing day, if you haven't noticed. Stay healthy. Get adequate sleep if you humanly possibly can. Things can wait, right? Social media especially, right? Don't ever stay up for my videos, right, past your bedtime if you don't have to, because there's always tomorrow. You don't want to tune out. You don't want to tune out of Nightwatch N8, though. Valuable info on there. God bless. Thanks, everybody. Till next time, Nightwatch N8, signing out.